Isn't it amazing how you turn on YouTube and you find a lot of your favorite content creators with bubbly personalities? They come on screen and they start to speak about what they enjoy doing, what they've done during the day, how they intend to vlog throughout the day, and let you into their world. They seem so passionate about whatever it is they're talking about. And you sit down within yourself and you think, what do I want to talk about? That will bring out the same energy in me. Now, I don't talk quite as fast. My voice is not that exciting and I'm monotone. How am I going to speak on camera? If you're someone who have found public speaking to be quite daunting or challenging, you may wish to start a YouTube channel as a project. If you manage to, then you're well on your way to succeed, because doing YouTube will teach you how to speak in a way that people will listen, but there are tricks to it. Now, the first lesson, which I think you need to remember, is that your voice sounds different to you. In fact, the way you looks different to you compared to what other people see. You will cringe when you first hear yourself back, and even so many years down the line. In fact, if you have watched YouTube long enough, you would have come across YouTubers who watch their own videos 5, 6, 7 years down the line, and they still cringe at the sound of their own voice. So who am I, who's a fresh apprentice at this with fresh experience or no experience, if you wish? When you hear yourself back, in fact, your voice will be the weirdest thing that you've ever heard. And over time, I've come to accept my voice just the way it is. I continue to learn about my tone, which I then carry with me, or I intend to carry with me, into public speaking, into team meetings, into networking, but also probably speaking to strangers at the bus stop. Maybe that's pushing it, yes, but you catch my drift. The second lesson is that I now know my voice is not for everybody, but for a privileged few. Yes, you're privileged if you're listening to this. When I speak, some people will listen, and that's why it is the way it is. You too have to remember that. You have been created to have this voice that you have to speak to a certain group of people, not everyone. That is why we have favorite teachers. That's why you have favorite YouTubers, because whatever it is they're saying, however it is they're saying it, using their voice speaks directly to you. Not everyone. And that is why you could be monotonous like me. You could be monotone. You could have a monotone voice like me. It could be multi-tone. It could be exciting to some people. It could be very dull to other people. It doesn't matter. All you need to remember is that you're not for everyone, and therefore you need to learn to accept that. The third lesson I have also learned is that you need a helping hand with speaking and tools that work for you. Now, stop watching your favorite YouTubers and trying to be like them, because you can't be like them. So don't try. You can't be someone you're not. You simply will just burn out while you're trying. Not sure that is what you desire. I don't think you want that. You just simply need to be yourself. Pick a topic that you want to talk about and just ramble on about it. And that will only come as a result of accepting your own voice. So it's about taking that step in order for you to build your own confidence. You like watching them, that's fine. Their job is done. Now you need to start your own. I had to prepare mentally to speak, and to do that, it requires me to think about what I want to say, so that before I speak. But you may not realize a lot of people actually do it. They use frameworks to start from a point, and they create boxes of ideas that attach to the original subject matter. So say, for instance, a tree. As an example, it has branches that come out of it. The same way you start on a subject matter, you've already informed your audience this is what you're going to talk about. You then follow the branches as they spring out of your tree. They take you directly to where you need them to go, and then you jump onto the next branch. However, you need to avoid waffling, and I'll come to that. Preparing mentally to speak, you'll also realize that because you're tapping into these frameworks or the boxes and the ideas, for instance, your words tend to come out a lot slower and therefore you avoid filler words. But this is depending on how you wish to project your voice. Sometimes it may just not bother you. I speak now the same way I have a conversation with people around me, and I only see it as a challenge for me to overcome because I don't want to sound too rigid or too formal, whereas I'm having a conversation with a friend. For you, it may not be the case. To me, I think I sound too formal, even when I'm having conversations with my mom or my sister and my children. Speak, don't read. A lot of people believe that you should script out what you're going to say, and that helps a lot. But in scripting, you don't want to write the entire shebang. No. What you can do is to do an outline or make an outline, whichever is grammatically correct. Pick one. An outline of what you want to say helps to avoid waffling. So because they're bulleted, you simply just go on. You speak, speak, speak. It has been proven that we speak differently to the way we write. So I have come to test myself with my writing. Your mind or your brain goes to write in a formal kind of way, but when you start to speak, it's totally different. You somewhat become a lot simpler. You use simple languages. You use easy to understand words rather than worrying about being grammatically presentable, if that makes sense. So a very good tool that has been very useful to me, repeating the word useful, is the Notes or the Google Keep app. So not just by itself, but with text to speech. So even though I'm an ambivert and speaking exhausts me, the fact that I have picked this up is really getting me excited. I simply open up my app or my Note or Google Keep, and I tap on the microphone button at the bottom of the screen, and I start to speak to it. What you can then do afterwards is to go back and correct it the way you want it to come out. But it's definitely better than reading from a script by a million miles, I can tell you that. So if to speak better is one of the skills that you wish to learn, either it's professionally or just informally conversing with your friends, and as an introvert, then I would suggest that you start YouTube. You've been watching, now it's time to practice, and you can speak much better and much clearer. It's going to help you. Besides, if you don't speak, your mouth will smell. You already know that. I can't believe I've spoken for this long, but the last tool that I'm going to share with you is a teleprompter. Teleprompter sort of works in the same way as you writing and as you're speaking in your Notes app or in your Google Keep app. So what you've spoken in your Google Keep or in your Notes app, copy that text and paste it into a teleprompter. However, that's going to cause you to be reading. So what you want to do is to try and read whatever it is you've got down, is to read through it such that it sounds like it has come out of you anyway. So you're bound to remember it. All you're going to do is then start picking the words randomly through the entire paragraph, and you should be grand. You should be good to go. I hope that helps.